Hi! Today we are talking about how to get more things done. I have 8 tips for you about some of the best brain-based tips, tricks, and tools you can use to be more productive and to get more done in your day. First off, I love this question. This is a question that I challenged myself with throughout my corporate career and all of the time now in my own company. How to get more done is a billion-dollar question. We all want more out of ourselves, out of our time, out of our day. Today, we are going to talk about the top 8 ways that you can get more done in less time in a given day. Well, one of the top ways that you can get more done, set goals. I know it seems pretty straightforward. However, if you don't have a goal, you probably don't have a plan. And if you don't plan, you plan to fail. Or as the sayings go, planning really helps with allowing you to get more done in less time. So the first thing to do is to make sure that you know what you want to accomplish. You know what you'd like to get done in a day. Start by setting a goal for your day. When it comes to getting more done, there is a very simple tool that many highly successful people use that is a 2x2 matrix, and I'm actually going to show it on the screen right now. This 2x2 matrix helps people organize their time and their energy in order to get more done, and it does so by the following. When you look at the task list, likely a laundry list of what you want to get done in a day, the following 2x2 matrix will really help you parse out what those things are by virtue of whether or not they are important or not important, and how urgent or not urgent they are. Let's start with the first quadrant. In the first quadrant, this is the section where something is, as an example, deemed important and urgent. That is something that you should do. If something is both important and urgent, you should put your time and energy behind doing it. So in this quadrant, we see that this should likely be all the items you'll actually get done today. Let's pretend that you have an item on your to-do list that is important, you want to get it done, but it's not urgent. That is something that we would put in the planning category. And so as you see in this 2x2 matrix, what you will do is you will plan for that activity, but it's not likely to hit your to-do list today. Next are items on your to-do list that you would deem urgent but not important. Let's pretend you know something needs to get done, but it's not very important. This might be something that you actually delegate. Okay, so this is something that likely someone else can do. It's partly because it's not important to you, but it is in fact needing to get done today. Those are items that you might delegate to somebody else in order for them to get done urgently, but not by you. Finally, in this 2x2 matrix, we see that some items might well fall on the list of things that are both not urgent and not important. This is an awesome quadrant because this is the thing that you can eliminate. Anything that falls in this quadrant are things you can safely cross off the list. You don't need to delegate, you don't need to plan them, and it's definitely not something you're going to do. Next, you want to get more done. I've talked about this a lot on my channel, is the fact that multitasking is a brain-based myth. It does not exist. In fact, the only way to get more done is to drop multitasking altogether and to single task. Single tasking actually allows your brain to work the way your brain wants to work. It allows you to focus. Focus will help get more work done in less time and for you to be more productive. So, one of the things to do if you want to get more done is to make sure you single task and drop the temptation to multitask. If you want to get more done, one of the other critical things to do is to make sure that you don't let other people dictate your time, your attention, or your resources. I've also talked a lot about this, that in our work environments that can be very highly distracting, and depending where you live in the organizational hierarchy, we can often allow other people undue access to our limited resources, things like time and energy and attention and money. Don't do it. Have the self-discipline and/or the boundaries set such that what you can do is you reclaim your own limited resources. This will help you get a lot more done in less time without the distraction or the reprioritization that other people often cause. The final tip that comes out of the brain science that is really important is this. People who are highly productive very typically work when others are resting and we typically see them resting when others are working. And there's a reason for that. People who are really, really successful and who get more done and who are highly productive very typically choose times of day to get work done that others do not bother them, do not distract them, do not ask anything of them. There are many books out and there are piles of research papers, as an example, that talk about the fact that very highly successful people who get more done very typically start really early in the morning. Part of the reason that this works is because there's no one else emailing, the markets aren't open, the office isn't busy. You can actually have time to just focus, to flow, to get in the zone, and to get done what you want to get done. It's unbelievable how many other things distract us and take up our time and use our limited resources. So if what you can do is get to work when others are resting, you are much more likely to get more done. And when others are working is probably a really good time to rest. This is when you might do your correspondences, your emails. This is when you might have meetings or conference calls. This is really a time when you're not using your brain as actively as you might have in your concerted hours in the early morning. So if you want to be maximally productive and get more done, work when others are resting and do some lighter work when others are working. I hope that you watching this video was one of the many things that you will do today. I hope this helped you be more productive, get more done in less time. Let me know in the comments below how any of these tips, tricks, and tools work for you. Subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow.